Do you have those frustrating dark corners in your garden where nothing seems to grow? Those spots under the big oak tree? Or along the north side of your house where the sun never shines? Well, I have incredible news for you today. You're about to discover that shade doesn't mean boring, bland, or barren. In fact, some of the most spectacular plants on Earth absolutely thrive in shade. And I'm going to share 12 absolute showstoppers with you right now. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll be racing to your local garden center with a whole new appreciation for what's possible in those shadowy spaces. And here's the best part. Every single plant I'm recommending today is what we call well-behaved, no invasive thugs that will take over your entire neighborhood. Hello, beautiful gardeners. Welcome back to Senior Green Thumbs. I'm so excited you're here today because we're diving deep into one of my absolute favorite topics, creating magic in shade. You know, after decades of gardening, I've learned that some of my most treasured garden moments happen in those quiet, cool, shaded retreats. Many of us have challenging areas where traditional sun plants just won't thrive. Maybe it's under mature trees, between buildings, or in those naturally shaded nooks and crannies that every property seems to have. But here's what I've discovered over the years. Shade gardening opens up a whole world of textures, colors, and forms that you simply can't achieve in full sun. Today I'm sharing 12 absolutely stunning shade-loving plants that will completely transform how you think about those dim spaces. These aren't your grandmother's boring hostas, though we'll talk about some amazing hostas too. These are plants that will make your neighbors stop their evening walks to ask what that gorgeous specimen is. Let's start our journey with the undisputed royalty of the shade garden. Plant 1. Cardinal Flower Native Showstopper. If you want to add a touch of wild beauty to your shade garden, Cardinal flower is absolutely spectacular. This native perennial produces flower spikes of the most incredible scarlet red I've ever seen, a color so intense it literally glows in shade. Cardinal flower thrives in moist shade conditions, making it perfect for those spots near downspouts or in naturally damp areas where other plants might struggle. The deep green foliage provides the perfect backdrop for those brilliant blooms, and the flowers last for weeks in late summer. But here's the best part. Hummingbirds go absolutely crazy for cardinal flower. If you want to attract these tiny jeweled visitors to your shade garden, this is the plant to grow. It's also a wonderful way to support native wildlife while creating stunning visual impact. Plant 2. Hardy cyclamen Fall Surprise. Just when most shade plants are winding down for the season, hardy cyclamen puts on the most spectacular show. These delicate flowers with their swept-back petals appear in fall, dancing above beautiful marbled heart-shaped leaves. The flowers come in soft pink or pure white, and they have this ethereal quality that seems to capture and reflect every bit of available light. What makes them even more special is that they bloom when very little else is flowering, extending your garden season of interest well into autumn. Hardy cyclamen naturalizes beautifully under trees and shrubs, creating carpets of flowers and foliage that return and multiply year after year. They're completely different from the indoor cyclamen you might know. These are tough, reliable perennials that handle cold winters with ease. Plant 3. Impatiens Continuous Color Champions. When you need non-stop color and shade, impatiens are your best friends. Now I'm not talking about those old-fashioned bedding impatiens that were everywhere. Today's impatiens are absolutely spectacular. New Guinea Impatiens have transformed shade gardening. These beauties have glossy bronze-tinted foliage that's gorgeous all by itself, topped with vibrant flowers in coral, hot pink, purple, orange, and white. They bloom from spring until the first frost, giving you months and months of color. And let me tell you about sunpatiens. These are game changers. They can handle more sun than traditional impatiens but still thrive in shade, and they come in the most incredible colors. That coral orange shade is so vibrant it practically glows in dim light. They're also much more disease-resistant than older varieties, which means less worry and more enjoyment for us gardeners. Plant 4. Fuchsias Elegant Dancing Flowers. If you want to add pure elegance to your shade garden, fuchsias are absolutely magical. These pendant flowers look like tiny ballerinas frozen in mid-dance, with their graceful sepals swept upward and their full skirts below. The color combinations are incredible. Deep purple with bright pink, white with red, soft pink with darker pink. Some varieties have double flowers that look like tiny roses hanging from the branches. Dark Eyes has deep red sepals with purple petals, while Angel's Earrings produces masses of small white and pink blooms. Fuchsias are perfect for hanging baskets where you can really appreciate those dancing flowers, but they also make stunning upright specimens in containers or garden beds. And here's a bonus. Hummingbirds absolutely adore them. You'll have these tiny jeweled visitors all summer long. Plant 5. Hostas, the queens of shade. Hostas are hands down the most versatile shade plants you can grow, and if you think they're boring, you haven't seen the incredible varieties available today. We're talking about plants that range from tiny gems like blue mouse ears that fit in the palm of your hand, all the way up to massive specimens like some in substance with leaves bigger than dinner plates. The variety in hostas is absolutely mind-blowing. You've got blue-leafed varieties, like halcyon, that seem to glow with an ethereal light. There are golden varieties like August Moon that brighten the darkest corners, and the variegated forms, simply spectacular. Patriots has deep green leaves with crisp white margins, while June shows off blue-green centers with golden edges. But here's what many people don't realize. Hostas aren't just about foliage. Many varieties produce absolutely gorgeous flower spikes in summer. Fragrant Bouquet has white blooms that smell like gardenias, and some of the newer varieties have flowers in soft lavender that last for weeks. Plant 6. Foam Flower, Native Woodland Beauty. Tiarella, or foam flower, is one of our most beautiful native woodland plants, and it's absolutely perfect for creating that natural forest-like feel in your shade garden. The foliage alone is worth growing. Heart-shaped leaves with intricate burgundy patterns that look like they were hand-painted by an artist. In spring, these plants send up the most delicate flower spikes covered in tiny white or pale pink blooms that really do look like foam dancing in the breeze. The effect is absolutely magical, especially when you plant them in drifts. Foam flower is also wonderfully well behaved. It spreads gently by runners to form attractive colonies, but it's never aggressive. It's deer-resistant, thrives in dry shade once established, and provides interest from early spring through fall. This is the kind of plant that makes your garden look professionally designed. Plant 7. Japanese Pachysandra, the problem solver. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Pachysandra is boring. But hear me out. This evergreen ground cover is absolutely invaluable for those really challenging spots where nothing else will grow. Under mature trees where the soil is dry and the shade is deep, Pachysandra creates a lush, green carpet that looks good 12 months of the year. Those glossy, dark green leaves catch and reflect what little light filters through, creating the illusion of a much brighter space. The key with Pachysandra is understanding what it does best. It's not meant to be a showstopper. It's meant to be the elegant backdrop that makes your other shade plants shine. Think of it as the little black dress of the shade garden. Classic, reliable, and always appropriate. Plant 8. Garden Balsam, Old-Fashioned Charm. Here's a wonderful annual that's making a big comeback, and for good reason. Garden Balsam produces the most charming rose-like flowers nestled right against the stem, creating this incredibly full, lush appearance. The flowers come in soft pink, deep rose, purple, white, and bi-colors, and they have this lovely old-fashioned cottage garden appeal. What I love about garden balsam is how it gently self-seeds, so once you grow it, you'll have volunteers popping up in the most perfect spots year after year. These plants have a lovely upright growth habit and can get quite tall, sometimes 3 feet or more, so they're perfect for adding height and structure to your shade borders. They're also incredibly easy to grow from seed, which makes them perfect for those of us who love the satisfaction of starting plants from scratch. Plant 9. Foxglove, Dramatic Vertical Accent. When you need drama in your shade garden, nothing beats the towering spires of foxglove. These magnificent plants can reach 4 to 6 feet tall, creating stunning vertical accents that draw the eye upward and make your garden feel much larger. The tubular flowers are absolutely fascinating. Each one is perfectly designed for bumblebees, with spotted throats that guide pollinators to the nectar. Traditional varieties come in pink, purple, white, and yellow, but some of the newer cultivars offer incredible colors like apricot and soft peach. I particularly love the newer perennial varieties, like Gold Crest, which gives you years of reliable blooms instead of the traditional biennial habit. And here's a wonderful bonus. Foxgloves often self-seed in the most perfect spots, creating natural-looking drifts that look like they've been there forever. Plant 10. Sweet Woodruff, Fragrant Ground Cover. Sweet woodruff is one of those plants that offers multiple seasons of interest in the most charming way. The star-shaped leaves create beautiful whorls around the stems, and in late spring, tiny white flowers appear like little stars scattered across a green sky. But here's the magical part. When you brush against the leaves or they're dried, they smell like vanilla and new mown hay. It's the most wonderful fragrance, and it makes every walk through your shade garden a sensory experience. Sweet woodruff creates a lovely ground cover under trees and shrubs, staying neat and tidy without being aggressive. It's perfect for those areas where you want something prettier than mulch but don't want to deal with high-maintenance plants. Plant 11. Hellebores, the early bloomers. Hellebores are absolute treasures for extending your garden's season of interest. These remarkable perennials begin blooming in late winter and continue through spring, often flowering right through snow. The range of colors available now is incredible: pure white, soft pink, deep burgundy, purple, and even flowers so dark they're nearly black. Many varieties have beautiful spotting or picotee edges that add extra visual interest. Ice and Roses series offers some of the most reliable flowering, while Wedding Parties varieties come in the most elegant color combinations. The leathery evergreen foliage looks good all year long, providing structure and substance to your shade borders, even when the plants aren't flowering. Hellebores are also incredibly long-lived. I have plants that have been blooming reliably for over 15 years. Plant 12. Violas and Pansies, cheerful faces. Let's end our journey with these cheerful little faces that bring such joy to shade gardens. Violas and pansies are perfect for adding spots of bright color exactly where you want them, and their sweet faces never fail to make people smile. Modern varieties come in incredible color combinations: deep purple with yellow centers, soft pastels, bright oranges, and even some with whiskers and blotches that look like tiny works of art. Matrix pansies are particularly weather-resistant, while viola varieties like Sorbet series bloom continuously in cool weather. What I love about violas and pansies is how they prefer cool weather, making them perfect for spring and fall when many other plants are dormant. In mild climates, they'll bloom right through winter, providing color when you need it most. There you have it, 12 absolutely stunning shade-loving plants that will completely transform those challenging areas of your garden. From the elegant dancing flowers of fuchsias, to the bold architectural presence of large hostas, from the native beauty of cardinal flower to the old-fashioned charm of garden balsam, you now have the knowledge to create shade gardens that are every bit as spectacular as their sunny counterparts. Remember, shade gardening is about embracing a different kind of beauty. It's about creating peaceful retreats filled with interesting textures, subtle color combinations, and plants that offer something special in every season. These 12 plants will give you a foundation for years of gardening enjoyment. The most important thing is to start somewhere. Pick 2 or 3 plants that really spoke to you today, and begin experimenting. Gardening is a journey, not a destination, and some of my most treasured garden discoveries have come from trying something new. I hope this has inspired you to see your shady spaces with fresh eyes and renewed excitement. These plants are waiting to transform those challenging corners into your new favorite garden rooms. If you found this helpful, I'd love to hear about your shade gardening adventures in the comments below. Share photos of your successes, ask questions about challenges you're facing, and let's build a community of gardeners who know that shade doesn't mean settling for less, it means discovering something wonderfully different. Don't forget to subscribe to Senior Green Thumbs for more gardening wisdom, and ring that notification bell so you never miss our latest tips and inspiration. Until next time, keep growing, keep experimenting, and remember, every garden tells a story, and yours is going to be beautiful.